Thank you for having me. I am Laura Brandt, and I use she and her. Today, I'm going to talk to you about green and red lights dancing in the cold night sky, presented by Dr. Elizabeth McDonald and me. Have you ever thought about the sun and our relationship with it? When I think about the sun, I think about the way it feels on my skin, even if it burns a little sometimes. I think about the way it gives food to living things and lights up the world. But it does much more than that. What does the sun bring to mind for you? What does it mean to have a star just close enough and just far enough away for life? How do the ways the sun changes, when it sleeps, when it wakes up, when stuff bursts out of it, change what we see in the sky? Before I begin, I want to recognize that what I'm talking about today is only one way of understanding what this is and how it works. Many people have families who have lived for hundreds upon hundreds of years with the dancing lights in the sky and have important ways of knowing. Here is one of the places you can learn more. So, I did not go to school for a long time to learn about how the sun works, but I work with some really cool people who did, and who study the relationship between the sun and the things that surround it. One of the things they are interested in is how the sun gives off stuff and force fields that, when they meet the force fields around our home, cause dancing red and green lights to appear in the sky. Today, I'm going to talk some about how that works. Let's start at the beginning. Around our home are force fields, drawn here in blue, that guard us from some of the other forces of space. The force fields themselves are made of the same force you find in those cool rocks. You know, the ones that are drawn to one another on one side and push each other away on the other side. The sun is always giving off light, as well as a wind full of different bits of stuff that moves across the space around it and past our home. This wind from the sun is always pushing back the force fields around our home, so they are very long on the side far away from the sun. The way the force fields act when pushed back by the wind is important. Hold that thought. We'll come back to it later. Every few years, the sun spends some time not doing very much, almost as if it's asleep. Then it wakes up and spends a few years doing quite a lot. It is waking up even now. Sometimes, more often when it has woken up, it throws a huge, fast ball of stuff at us through the wind. The ball is full of tiny bits of stuff as well as lines of force from the force fields that surround the sun. It moves very quickly toward us and hits the lines of force around our home hard. The different lines of force can then join, sending bits of stuff into the space around us. A lot of times when people talk about the dancing lights, they tell a story about bits going straight from the sun into the air at the top and bottom of our home. Over to you, Sven.
The northern lights are the result of collisions between numerously electrically charged particles from the sun entering the Earth's atmosphere. Everybody get that? Okay.
Thanks, Sven. There are many kinds of dancing lights. Some we can see and some we cannot. Sven here got a little confused. His story, where bits go straight into spaces at the force field at the top and bottom of our home, does make one type of lights. But we pretty much can't see that type of lights. It's not the kind we like to take pictures of. So his story is not quite right. Sorry, Sven. The lights that we see at night are made a different way, with a few more steps. Remember how the wind from the sun draws the force fields around our home out long, away from the sun? The bits that come from the sun get stuck in the force fields around us and go around to the other side, like this. As they move away from our home, the wind from the sun pulls and pulls and pulls the force fields until they snap and join each other in a new way. The bits are made to move much faster and sent back toward the top and bottom of our home. The bits arrive moving so quickly that they fall into the air far, far above us. The air up there has been broken up in a way that makes it act different from the air that we breathe. The falling bits hit pieces of this high up air and give them some of their force, which the pieces in turn give off as tiny flashes of light. Different kinds of pieces at different places in that high up air give off different colors, as you can see here. This is really cool because it means that if you see each of these colors, you not only know what they are made of, but you also know, more or less, how high up they are. We cannot usually see the force fields at the edge of space, but when we look up at the dancing lights in the sky, we see hundreds upon hundreds of tiny flashes lighting up the force fields that surround our home. It can be very beautiful to watch. What do the lights make you think and feel? If you want more, I hope you will join us. We work with friends all around the world who see the lights, at home or when they visit other places. People like you on the ground looking up can share what you see, and we draw these on a picture of the world. It works so that people who tell us they see the lights not only help with learning about the lights, but they help more people see them too. We also have easy-to-read stuff about how the lights work, if you want to find out more about them. Thank you for thinking about the lights with me. I hope you will come learn from my friends, too.